Joining me today is Tammy Wilson. She's running in Ohio's 4th District for Congress, United States Congress, running against one of the worst people in Congress, Jim Jordan. Tammy, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. So I want to talk about what you would do when you're in office in a second. And I've got some interesting questions there for you. But first, let's talk about Jim Jordan and the race. He's one of the most right-wing guys, loathsome character in a lot of different ways. But I assume the district is pretty red. So how do you beat a guy in a red district like that?
How do you beat a guy like that? Oh, it's a total grassroots effort here in Ohio. It's been really interesting. I've been building alliances and relationships with people for over 3.5 years now. So it's just connecting with people and letting them know everything that he doesn't do for them. It's been really interesting to find out how much people don't know about Jim Jordan. I think a lot of times people, they see him on TV, he doesn't wear a jacket, and they see him yelling at the government. And I think that appeals to them. And there's a lot of people that are very unhappy and disgruntled, and they see him and they think that he's advocating for them. But, they're too busy working 2 jobs, and they're overwhelmed with life to know that he doesn't do anything for them. So I've been informing them that he votes against veterans and seniors and every single farm bill for the past 17 years. And he voted against jobs. The median income for most of the district here is $24,000 a year, and he voted against jobs, bringing jobs to the district. So it's really interesting. It's really sad, actually.
Yeah, those fake populists drive me crazy, and they have the sense of like, oh yeah, I'm fighting for you, and then they vote against the average man every single time.
Every single time.
Unfortunately, I think mainstream media does a terrible job of exposing them. So, when you're out there campaigning, I know you raised a good amount of money because you're running against Jim Jordan. He's one of the most hated Republicans in the country, et cetera. But what is the message that you think resonates the most in that district? You can give me 1, 2, or 3 examples of the things where people go, wow, okay, I hear you on that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I just been really connecting with people. I worked a lot of the fairs in the district, and so I would ask people, what issues are important to you? And it's the kitchen table issues. Right now, it's the economy, it's healthcare. And, it's really interesting. When I decided to run back in 2021, when I did my research to find out what issues were important to Ohioans, immigration was at 1%. But with the Republican media marketing machine that they are, it has now risen to one of the top 3 issues in America now. So they are very instrumental. They're very good at all of their techniques that they use to get people very angry and scared and very upset about issues. So that's one of the top 3 issues now in Ohio. But so I'm just meeting people where they're at. We're having discussions.
Can I ask you, sorry to interrupt. So how do you address that one?
Yeah, I just, I let them know. I actually went to the border. I went to the border with Vote Common Good. Are you familiar with that group?
No.
Vote Common Good is a organization that is actually a group of pastors. They formed this organization to fight Christian nationalism. And so they have been taking candidates to the border to have a border experience. And so actually stayed in a shelter on the US side, and then I stayed in a shelter on the Mexico side. And it was really interesting to meet with the families and hear their stories of what prompted them to, want to come to America. And so I've been sharing that information, that experience that I've had with, people in the district. And, I tell them, what would you do if your family's life was threatened? If, because that's what is happening in Mexico. That's why a lot of people are fleeing. The cartels are threatening these people. A lot of them are entrepreneurs. And, I spoke with these families that are living in 1 bedroom. The kids are going to a 1 classroom for all of the grades, and they're staying there for like 9-10 months until they're actually eligible to apply for, asylum. So it's an interesting process, but I let people know, we have very outdated um, and immigration policy is extremely outdated, and I just kind of educate them about what's going on with our process and how we need to change the laws and things like that. And I try to bring it to their level and to humanize the people that are crossing the border so they can kind of understand what's going on and have some empathy.
And how about issues that work for you, where it resonates and goes, oh, okay, now I'll consider Democrats. You got any of those in that district?
I'm sorry, what?
Issues that help you, like where people go, oh, okay, that resonates. Maybe I'm normally a Republican or an independent, but you've convinced me on this issue that Democrats are better.
Yeah. Well, most of it, it's really, right here, right now, it's really the economy and the lack of any kind of representation in the district. So in Ohio, well, across the country, really, we've been very divided in the country. And a lot of areas here, people have never voted for a Democrat, let alone ever even think of voting for a Democrat. But I'm just meeting people where they're at. I'm letting them know I'm a very common sense candidate, and I'm just connecting with them about the kitchen table issues. So it's really about the economy. People are struggling. I'm letting them know that I'm already working with companies to bring jobs to the district. I'm working with builders to build affordable housing um, in the district, and I'm working with the hospitals and other organizations to bring affordable health care and access to health care. We have healthcare deserts here. We have food deserts here. We have a lot of needs because we've gone 17 years without any kind of help or representation because we have a do nothing representative, Jim Jordan in office. He voted against veterans, seniors. He voted against the Violence Against Women's Act, um, which I find extremely appalling. I mean, there's just so much. So
Yeah.
it's just letting people know, what's going on. And, I'm just able to connect with people that way.
So Tammy, if you win and you go to Congress and Hakeem Jeffries or whoever's the leader pulls you aside and says, hey, listen, we're not going to do paid family leave now. I know it's very popular, but we've got it on our agenda for later. And this is whatever you're animated by, we're going to do later, not now. And you've got to be a good team player and get on board for our agenda. What's your reaction?
Well, unfortunately, we don't get everything that we want when we want it. And I think it's important to do what we can do. And I think it's important to have a government that works. Sometimes we're going to have to work in a bipartisan manner. And I let I let my voters, I let the constituents know that my goal is to work in a bipartisan manner. We've had a congressman in office who is only partisan. He votes against, if it has a D in front of it, he'll vote against it. Well, he votes against the people 97% of the time anyway. But I let them know that I am very passionate about bringing representation to the district and working in a bipartisan manner. So we have a government that works. I believe that everyone should work hard, but we should have a government that works when you need it. And so that is my goal, is to, advocate for the people and do the best that I can.
All right, Tammy Wilson running in the 4th District in Ohio. Appreciate your effort to unseat Jim Jordan. I think a lot of people appreciate that. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
No problem. Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.